Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to talk to you about Image Viewer Enhanced because I refactored it. It's looking better now. So you can see now that I'm displaying the image info in the caption here. So we have the resolution and then the DPI of the image. And I used to do this with I had this as a animated drop down label, but this was too fancy for an app like this and was causing the very large images to repaint. So if you have an image around 3000 by 3000 in the super pix box control, it would cause that control to repaint every time when you animate it over it. So I just got rid of that. So when you're iterating through images in a directory with the arrow keys, you'll notice that the form, it stays centered, and I pretty well like this. I don't know if everybody will like this, but basically it retains its center when you're changing the size of the form. The form automatically sizes itself to the image if you have that set. So you can see that I have rotate right instead of rotate CW now. That's just a bit more readable in my opinion. And we have this standard about window and the settings form here. So typically with an app like this, you would separate these settings that the user would commonly access from the ones that they wouldn't. So all of the ones that they wouldn't would be in the settings form here, whereas the other ones would be in the context menu. And I now have show image info as an option, so I can take that off and it should stop showing the image info. It doesn't though, because I definitely didn't test that. And down here we can use a tool border or not. And that's about it for the new features. With the settings window, I decided to use just a reset button and make the user close the window with the close button on the form border. It's okay to do this so long as your form border is a normal one and not a tool window, and as well if your settings are simple. I've noticed this with a lot of simple settings windows in Apple UIs, and I find this to be a bit more intuitive. The user doesn't have to figure out the differences between the various buttons because there's only two. They can assume that they can save. They don't have to manually save their stuff, because the only way they can close this is this close button up here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit about the auto centering here. So basically it's built to keep the images in the working area of the screen. So we go to picture box here, go to Amsterdam, load up a high resolution image. It's not going to exit the working area of the screen. I find that to be the most efficient, or the most convenient at least. And also, a nice convenient thing is when you have different images and you're changing them, so it'll keep them center, but it's not going to center them outside of the screen. So you can see that I can iterate through images like in that manner, but as soon as the new image is mostly covered up or mostly clipped by the screen, it'll center itself to the screen. So I put that over there, and most of this is in the screen, but the next image is probably not going to be mostly in the screen, so it centers it. So we can do that anywhere. We can do it down here. Just gonna put it down here. Just gonna center it. And what I've done is I wrote an extension method for the rectangle class to retrieve the area of the rectangle, and I'm using intersection methods with the rectangle as well to calculate how much this is being clipped by your screen. And I think I'm accounting for multiple screens as well, not just your primary screen, of course. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know if this is a new feature, but I can I can just drag a bunch of files on here, load them all up in a different instance. So it'll load the first argument up. Well, it would load the first, accepted file name in the on drag drop event into the picture box, but all the other ones will be loaded up in a new instance. And the same applies with arguments when you're when you want to open up with arguments. So I can close this, go back to Explorer here, and I could do open wherever that may be. There's only an edit button. Okay, so we're just going to send it to... It's probably because I don't open up bitmaps in my... Okay, I'm going to right click on this and set it to open up bitmaps with my program. Okay, so now when I highlight everything, I should be able to open them. Yes, so I'm going to hit open. It's going to open them all up in a separate instance. And it does have a minimum, size to it. It can't be too small. Another cool thing that I've done is it can extract a bunch of stuff. Really? Well, not a bunch, but I could drag this app icon onto here. It'll be able to extract the 32 by 32 icon, I assume. We'll take a look at the image info. 48 by 48, that's a surprise. Okay. And it's also able to extract the icon from an assembly. So I can drag an executable in here, and it'll extract its icon. And I can iterate through them in a normal fashion using the arrow keys. I don't think... Alright. Yeah, so it'll be able to extract the icon from this thing as well. And go find that. There it is. And I noticed that with my high resolution mouse that it was very hard to open up the context menu because every time I go to click something, the mouse moves. So with this thing here, there's a drag threshold. If you drag or pan under like, I don't know, 3 pixels or equal to 3 pixels when you're mousing, it'll still open up the context menu. It just makes it a bit more friendly. And of course, if you notice how I group these things, down here I have the dialogues in this group, and some view stuff, and then some image related stuff. It's very easy to group these items. So I fixed a lot of bugs in zoom mode as well. It's looking pretty good. I definitely need to update the icon on that system tray icon thing, because that's not the right one. And that's about it for this video.